Meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Welcome commissioners, staff, petitioners, and citizens to the March 8th Mishawaka Planning Commission meeting. Introduction of staff. To my left, we have Derek Spear, city planner. Over here, we have David Bent, our legal counsel. To my right, we have Carrie Myers, administrative planner. Shad Annis, the associate planner. And in the middle there, we have Krista Hill, the senior planner. Carrie, would you please call roll?
Sure. Chris Jamrose?
Here.
Murray Wynn?
Here.
Woody Emmons? Chris Nabalski?
Here.
Sam Cressy?
Here.
Nick Triola? Chris Torty?
Here.
Dale Freeman?
Here.
Kathleen White-Gaddich?
Here.
Great. So that brings us to the rules of procedure, which are up on the screen to my left. We'll first hear a presentation by the petitioner. For each item, we will ask those participating in the room to speak first, followed by those participating online. And then we'll hear from those who wish to speak in favor of the request and those who wish to speak against the request. If you're not sure whether you're speaking in favor or you're speaking against and you just have general questions, I recommend you do it during the against. And also, we do all of our talking at the podium where there's a microphone and it can be recorded on record. So anytime you do approach the podium, please state your full name so Carrie can write that down and your address. Then we will hear a right of rebuttal by the petitioner. So we'll gather all the questions and then have the petitioner answer all of the questions that come up in one session. Then we'll have a commission discussion and a commission vote. That brings us to our previous minutes. Our previous minutes from February 8th, 2022 were distributed to the commissioners. Were there any questions, concerns, or corrections to those minutes?
I move we approve the minutes from February the 8th.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Marie and Dale. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Those meeting minutes passed. I will call for any conflict of interest on any of the items on the agenda tonight. No conflicts of interest. That brings us to the first item on the agenda. We have Replat 22-01, a request submitted by Habitat for Humanity of St. Joseph County and Erica Nicole Fowler seeking the approval of the two-lot replat of lots 8 and 9, the fields at Highlands, Section 3, first replat. Hello.
Hi. Good evening. Mike Huber, Abbott Marsh Consultants, 315 West Jefferson Boulevard, South Bend, Indiana. I'm here tonight representing Habitat for Humanity and the Fowlers. The issue here is when they built the house, when the Fowler house was built, they actually placed the garage in the easement. I don't know, they didn't do a great job staking or what happened out there, but the garage was actually built in the easement. So the replat here is to correct and address the fact that the garage was built in the utility easement. There was some survey and some locates done. There are no actual utilities in there that need to be moved or relocated or anything. So that's the purpose for the replat this evening, is to accommodate on this lot and the neighboring lot. You know, there are some drainage issues, I think, between the house and the garage, which is why they pushed it back into the easement. So, and I think they anticipate maybe a similar issue on the neighboring lot, and that's why the replat includes both lots. So, be happy to address or answer any questions.
And I see the planning department recommends approval as well. Is there any other questions for Mr. Huber? None? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Replat 22-01? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak against Replat 22-01? Hearing none, that closes the public hearing. And I'm going to turn it over to our commissioners for any questions or any discussion.
The fact that there are no existing utilities, I feel that there's probably no problem with the replat as it's presented. I would therefore make a motion that we approve replat 22-01.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The second, Kathy White-Gaddich. Carrie, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrose?
Yes.
Murray Wynn?
Yes.
Excuse me, Chris Nabalski?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes,
Dale Freeman?
Yes.
Kathleen White-Gadich?
Yes.
and that passes unanimously. Brings us to the next item on the agenda, which is design review, number 22-03. A request submitted by Local 1191 Real Estate Company requesting a waiver from the Mishawaka Design Review Ordinance, Section 105-174, signage size limitations at 125 South Street. Hello, welcome.
My name's John Dawson with United Steelworkers. My home address is 2231 Trace Trail here in Mishawaka.
John, last name one more time.
Doust, D-O-U-S-T.
Thank you.
First name's J-O-N. Yeah, so currently, our office is in Plymouth, Indiana. I'm actually moving it up to the building located at 125 South Hill Street, effective March 22nd. This here is actually the existing sign that we have on the building down in Plymouth, Indiana. And what we would like to do is to move it here to the building at 125 South Hill Street on the north side of the building, which is that one there that faces the parking lot. That was the original dimensions of the sign when we had it made. I think it was in 2016.
So the variance is for two, or I'm sorry, the design review is for two letters that are larger?
Well, it's the USW is one, that's the larger one.
Okay,
And then we're striking out the unity and strength for workers because we had too many letters according to the ordinance here in the city, so.
okay, so that part is not going to be on it.
Correct, that part would not be on, it would just be the part above, the big USW there, and the District 7 Sub 4, which is the office that is, that is the office, Sub 4 office.
How wide is the building itself, do you know?
It's, I think, 40 feet, if I remember correctly,
Okay, so-
on that north side.
So it's really not a large portion of the.
No,
space.
not at all,
Okay.
no.
Thank you. Just-
Any other questions for Mr. Doust? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the room or online that wish to speak in favor of design review, number 22-03? Is there anybody online or in the room that wish to speak against design review 22-03? Hearing none, that closes the public hearing. And I'm going to turn it over to the commissioners if there's any discussions or if there's any remonstrance or anything.
No. Nope, nothing in the file.
Discussions? I will entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept design review number 2203 as presented by the petitioner.
We have a
Second.
first. Second, Chris. Thank you, Carrie. Would you please call for the vote?
Yes. Chris Jamrose?
Yes.
Murray Wynn?
Yes.
Chris Nabalski?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes.
Dale Freeman?
Yes.
Kathleen White-Gadich?
Yes.
And design review 22-03 passes unanimously. Brings us to the next item on the agenda, which is design review number 22-04. A request submitted by Lincoln Way West LLC requesting a waiver from the Mishawaka Design Review Ordinance, Section 105-76, architectural material at 2629 Lincoln Way West for a proposed facade change. Hello.
Hi, Joe Liddy, Wheelchair Help, 515 East Street in Elkhart. We are a nonprofit 501c3 charitable. We help with wheelchairs and home medical equipment. And we just were approved for the zero setback. And to tie the whole thing together, we're using some metal, working with the existing brick and glass as much as possible. We painted all the block, but we trying to tie it together with a very special metal siding. We included Derek, you got that profile on the metal?
I don't think that was included in the staff
Okay.
report. It was just.
Well, it's
facade.
not barn siding.
Yeah.
It's very decorative. It's called A panel, where the grooves actually go on the inside. And worked with Derek and his boss about trying to tone it down, keep it simple. So there's a 40-inch dark band all the way around the building, and then balance between clay and the dark gray. Trying to keep it simple, and some signs on the building.
Well, we appreciate you working with the staff, and
Yeah, they've been-
obviously they
they help.
recommend approval in this.
Did I answer the questions?
Any other questions? I think you're good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Is there anybody else wishing to speak in favor of Design Review 22-04? Anybody online? Anybody in the room wishing to speak against Design Review 22-04? Or online? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing, and then I'll turn it over to the commissioners for any discussions, or Derek, is there any other info?
No,
Okay, I will take a motion on Design Review 22-04.
I motion to approve design review
Kathy,
22-04.
I'll second that.
Second, Murray. Thank you. Carrie, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrose?
Yes.
Murray Wynn?
Yes.
Chris Nabowski?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes,
Dale Freeman?
Yes.
Kathleen White-Gaddish?
Yes.
and Design Review 22-04 passes unanimously. That brings us to the next item, which is Design Review 22-05, a request submitted by GW Properties requesting a waiver from the Mishawaka Design Review Ordinance, Section 105-76, Architectural Materials at 5501 Grape Road for a proposed new Taco Bell restaurant.
Good evening, Mike Huber, Abbott Marsh Consultants, 315 West Jefferson Boulevard, South Bend. Here tonight to represent GW Properties is the owners of the property, but the developer Delight Restaurant Group is building the actual Taco Bell, or proposing to build the actual Taco Bell. They're requesting to use the cement board material, which is not doesn't meet the requirements of the ordinance, but it is, I think, aesthetically pleasing. I think the design looks good, and I think it's durable, it's flexible, it allows for some cost effectiveness for the developer, and most importantly, in this time frame, it's available. And so we're requesting the design review to allow the Taco Bell to be constructed out of the cement board material.
Mike, could you identify which portion the cement board is?
The cream colored one
Okay.
is the cement board, right?
And then that's metal paneling on the Taco Bell portion?
On the sign,
Yeah.
that's correct. And that's actually in compliance with the standards, because it doesn't meet cross the threshold for the amount of it being used. But this is very similar to the Taco Bell that was just built on Bremen Highway as well. Same owner, same
Yeah.
operator. Yep.
Excellent. Any other questions for Mr. Huber? None, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the room or online that wish to speak in favor of Design Review 22-05? Is there anyone online or in the room, in the chambers, that would wish to speak against 22-05? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and turn it over to the commissioners for any discussion and anything from Mr. Steer.
no,
I will entertain a motion on Design Review 22-05.
So moved. Second.
Dale and Sam. Thank you. Carrie, would you please call for vote?
Chris Jamrose?
Yes.
Murray Wynn?
Yes.
Chris Nabowski?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes.
Dale Freeman?
Yes.
Kathleen White-Gaddish?
Yes.
Next on the agenda, we have a site plan, Site Plan 22-02, a request for final site plan submitted by Beacon Health System for a new 26,050 square foot medical clinic located at 202 Lincoln Way East. Hello.
Good evening. I'm William Coleman from Panzica Building Corporation, 416 East Monroe Street, Suite 320 in South Bend. I'm here tonight representing Beacon Health System, who is seeking final site plan approval for a facility to be constructed on the property at the corner of Lincoln Way and Church Street formerly occupied by Berkshire Hathaway. In addition to the Berkshire Hathaway building, there is a small building presently or formerly occupied by Edward Jones. That building will serve as our construction office as we undergo the project, assuming approval. And the existing first floor, so the floor at the elevation of Lincoln Way, will be removed as the first phase of demolition of the building. The remaining structure, the foundation and existing floor slab, will be used as a podium for the new construction. The building, as is mentioned, is a 26,000 square foot medical building providing cardiology, imaging, and physicians' practices services. It's the three main groups that are organized in the building. Excuse me. There will be 2 levels of parking on the upper level and the lower level. There are some requirements that have been placed upon the site by both engineering and the planning department, for which we are making modifications to the drawings to comply with those requirements. One other item that should be noted is there is an agreement to provide after-hours parking for general use of the public. And I think the agreement called for between 40 and 60 spaces. Right now, as the plan stands, we have 54 spaces provided. Well, one last comment. There was a question or uncertainty in the review process as to whether or not the exterior material of the building would be stamped brick or call it authentic or real brick. It is real brick as the material. So I believe there are a couple of renderings of the facility included in the packet, and those are built authentic masonry, and in fact match or are similar in color to the other beacon projects that you'll find around town. Any questions?
An exciting project for our downtown.
We're very excited about it, as is Beacon, to see it get underway.
Any other questions for Mr. Coleman?
I don't believe so.
Questions? No, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any, actually, there's no public hearing for the site plan, so no public hearing. I'll turn it over to the commissioners and Mr. Spear and any conversation that.
No additional comments. So I think he addressed some of the planning comments that I had regarding the materials and the parking.
Excellent, excellent. Good. Well, I will entertain a motion on site plan 22-02.
I would move that we approve site plan 22-02.
Marie Nguyen,
Second?
second Kathy White got it. Thank you, and Terry, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrose?
Yes.
Murray Winn?
Yes.
Chris Nabowski?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes.
Dale Freeman?
Yes.
Kathleen White-Gadich?
Yes.
And site plan 22-02 passes unanimously. That is the last item on our agenda. It turns us over to any old business, Mr. Spear?
None.
How about new business?
None.
Privilege of the floor. Anybody have any comments outside of the agenda items tonight? Hearing none, that is adjournment. Thank you.